And so you see God's hand in this and intertwining the history of the world with the history of his people. Now, we're going to uncover now the key. That's going to reveal the story behind the story of the key of world history. And now for that to happen, we need to turn to Genesis. Turn to Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 12. And we're going to look at something, we're going to begin something now that's going to go, ultimately, we will see what's happening in the world right now is exactly tied into what was happening then. Now the Lord said to Avram, go forth from your country and go from your father's house, your relatives, to the land I'll show you. And I'll make you a great nation, and I will bless you. And I'll make your name great, so you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So God takes a man in Babylonia, in Sumer, in Ur of the Chaldeans, and he tells him, I'm going to make you a great nation, and whoever blesses you will be blessed, and whoever curses you will be cursed. Or in other words, the Abrahamic covenant. Now you can take it either in a very small way, in that simply it only means this, I will bless you and I will curse those who curse, or a larger way that what it's saying is not only that, but whatever you do to the Jewish people or Israel or Abraham's descendants, it will come back to you. It will be reciprocated back. So if you bless, it comes back as blessing. If you curse, it comes back as cursing. This is true for nations and individuals alike. I have never met a person who hated the Jewish people and prospered, was a blessed person. Never. I've never met a person who loved the Jewish people in God and wasn't blessed in some way. So here we're going to see something, the actual history of the world revolving around this secret. This key, secret to the world. Egypt, look at Egypt. It rises to the height of its power. The children of Israel are inside of it when it rises. The Egyptian empire. And then they turn against the Jewish people. They strip them of their status. They strip them of their rights. They make them slaves. Their possessions, everything stripped. The Egyptian empire, so what happens to Egypt? Abrahamic covenant. They strip them, they enslave them. Egypt, from the height of world power, Egypt collapses. It enters a long period of decline. You can almost take it as the Pharaoh is heading to the Red Sea, and the Red Sea sweeps his army. That's the beginning of the end. Egypt enters a long period of decline. As Egypt stripped the children of Israel of its possessions and status as a people, one historian writes, Egypt was stripped of all its territories. Egypt was stripped continuously. It went into a long decline until it became a second-rate power, a vestige, a shadow of its former self. The famous poet Shelley wrote a famous poem in 1817 concerning a man called Ozymandias. Ozymandias was referring to Ramses the Great, the Pharaoh, and who was around the time of the Exodus somewhere, the last great Egyptian Pharaoh who built monuments to himself all over. And Shelley wrote this. He said, I met a man from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive stamped on those lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing besides remains round the decay of that colossal wreck. Boundless and bare, the lone and level sand stretched far away. This is taught in English classes throughout the world. But it was about the collapse of Egypt and the fall of man. And when did that fall happen of Egypt? It all happened just around the time of the Exodus. Egypt comes against the God of Israel, comes against the children of Abraham, and the hand of God comes against Egypt. Judgment comes as the children of Israel were stripped and debased. The Egyptian empire is stripped and debased. As the possessions were taken of Israel, the possessions of Egypt are taken. Egypt would be continually debased and spoiled and pillaged and used by other nations, literally become a slave of other nations as they had enslaved Israel. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those who curse you. The Assyrian Empire, one of the most